Hello everybody and welcome back. As always, I'm Mateo311 and this is your channel for everything VR related. So today, we're going over all the new VR game releases in May, and I gotta say, this is an absolutely stacked month. There is something for everybody. It doesn't matter if you're into driving sims, or first-person shooters, puzzle games, you name it, it's covered this month. So this is gonna be an exciting one. Now there are of course some links and timestamps if you want to skip ahead, but before we jump in, this video is brought to you by VR Rock, makers of prescription lens inserts for all of your favorite VR headsets. Quest 3 inserts are now available for purchase, and I'm extremely happy to announce that they've significantly dropped their pricing on this product. They magnetically connect for easy insertion and removal, so if you wear eyeglasses and struggle to fit them inside the VR headset, or you're concerned about scratching your lenses, go check out VR Rock down in the description, and don't forget to use discount code Mateo311 for 10% off and to help support my channel. So let's start this video off like normal with the new games coming to the Quest Plus subscription service. In May, we're getting Vacation Simulator and Stones of Harleth. Vacation Simulator is a quirky series of mini-games where robots will help to maximize your relaxation levels and help recharge your internal batteries. You can choose between visiting the forest, beach, and mountains. And if you enjoyed Alchemy Lab's previous title, Job Simulator, I'm sure you'll like this one too. Now, if that's not exactly your style, you could jump into the first-person dungeon crawler Stones of Harleth. This game's clearly inspired by classic titles, and in modern terms, it looks like you're playing a boomer shooter. It does, however, feature some modern VR mechanics, as you'll draw runes in the air to create specific spells. So it looks like the Quest Plus subscription service is giving us a nice variety this month. And just a quick reminder, there's a catalog of games that you always have access to with the Quest Plus subscription service. But let's move on to new releases, starting with the real-time strategy game, Homeworld Vast Reaches. Rather than porting one of the previous Homeland titles, they've built a brand new one from the ground up specifically for VR. You'll utilize hand controls to maneuver your fleet in battle throughout a whole new single-player campaign against a mysterious new enemy. This game takes place between the events of the original Homeworld 1 and 2, and I'm just absolutely pumped to experience a real-time strategy game in VR. Now this game is definitely on my shortlist to do a full review of, but make sure throughout this entire video that if you see a game you want me to cover, drop it down in the comments. Say, please cover Homeworld. At minimum, if I can't get to all the games, I'll put them in my Smash or Pass, my new series that I'm really enjoying. Okay, let's keep going. Next up is the survival title, Smalland. This is another game that also has flat screen roots and is being modified for a VR version. So prepare to shrink down to only a few inches and experience the world from a whole new view as you battle or tame insects, forage for supplies, build weapons and tools, and eventually your own cute little treehouse. While I'm not much of a survival game fan, I'm definitely intrigued here and will at least give this game a try. Now next up, we have an interesting title that combines a bit of pistol whip with meditative breathing. Zengence is definitely a unique title, and I really love the pun in the name. You're definitely going to get your vengeance, but you're going to be zen while doing it. So apparently the microphone will be used to track your breathing as you attempt to perform steady, deep inhales and exhales, while also engaging people in pistol whip style combat. Now I'm not sure if that combination is going to be a masterpiece or just way too niche for the average person. But speaking of games that aren't for everyone, our next title is the psychological horror Madison VR. Now I know the game has been delayed multiple times, but it's finally coming on May 2nd. PC and PlayStation VR 2 players could go ahead and wet their pants as they're being compelled to finalize an evil ritual by some type of demonic entity. Now I know you guys want me to cover this game, but I've just been so busy and I really haven't gotten to it. What I'm thinking of doing, just for you guys, and you gotta let me know if you want this, I will live stream it when it releases. What do you think about that? I'll get into it. You can watch me just cry in fear live. How's that sound? Let me know down in the comments. But let's keep moving. Now continuing with horror themed games, Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted 2 is making its way to the Meta Quest. I'm not sure how this series of jump scares and minigames became so popular, but here we are again guys with more action. Now the flat screen and PlayStation VR 2 versions have been out for quite some time, and both versions received excellent reviews. So if you're a Quest owner and into this type of game, I guess it's time to be excited. Now if you're looking for something completely different, we have Death Game Hotel. Now how does a tournament that promises to give you anything you want sound to you? Well, if it sounds a bit too good to be true, you're right, there is a catch. Instead of chips, you're going to be wagering body parts. So this is going to be a very unique version of poker, where both cheating and deceiving your opponents is completely allowed. The game includes both a single player campaign and online multiplayer, and I definitely won't be able to resist at least giving this game a try. You could bet my pinky toe on that one. Now next up we have Retropolis 2, which was planned to release in April, but received a short delay. This sequel continues the storyline of robot detective Philip Locke. If you're not familiar with this series, it's a story-driven puzzler where every scene is hand-drawn and designed to be its own spectacle. Now I never played the original game, but if you did, let me know what you thought down in the comments. Now if you're not really interested in puzzle games, why not go ahead and battle the shadows that are currently threatening our galaxy? Masters of Light is a unique, hand-tracked, rhythm-style fighting game. There's 5 distinct superpowers to master, including the ability to freeze time, 7 enemy types, 20 trophies to unlock, and 36 levels that have been designed for ultimate replayability. Now from the trailer, I'm not 100% sure what I'm getting into, but it looks like it could definitely be a fun time. But if you prefer to stay grounded and keep things real, we have Ultimate Swing Golf, designed to recreate the excitement and feel of a real golf game. Swing Golf is made for everyone from noobs to professional players. There's free play, training, challenge, and mixed reality modes. And if you're looking for some company, you could jump online for some 4-player action. For the non-sports fans though, we could go play in the sandbox with some assembly required. Here you'll be in the world of tomorrow where you get to build robots that'll either help humans or just cause some chaos. You'll get to take direct control over the robots you build and utilize them to interact with the world around you. Overall, this looks like a cute, fun little experience, and I'm just curious how deep the construction mechanics actually go. But jumping back to sports games, we have Blacktop Hoops. Dribble, shoot, and dunk your way through a narrative-driven campaign where you'll face off against some real and fictional street ball legends. You could also jump online for some 1v1, 2v2, and 4v4 matches in this basketball title that attempts to find the perfect line between arcade and simulation. But let's get off the court and jump back to horror games with Spectral Scream. This is an online cooperative horror game for 1 to 4 players where you'll take on the role of guardian between life and death. In order to keep Purgatory stable, you'll have to face off against the creatures that are invading it and restore the seals that have been broken. This looks like the type of game that Phasmophobia fans would enjoy, and I really want to see more of it in action. Now next up, we're going to test our parkour skills in Stride Fates. It's finally coming to PCVR on May 16th, and I actually tried the Steam version of this game months ago, where it was already looking pretty good. The game features a lengthy single-player campaign filled with plenty of action and large open rooftop worlds that you can parkour across. Now it's very easy to compare this to Mirror's Edge, but this title's a lot more combat heavy, and it allows you to unlock and upgrade weapons throughout the game. But if that's not your style, why not take on some tasks in Taskmaster VR, based off the game show of the same name, which challenged contestants to use their wit to solve an array of unique tasks. Well, now you get to do the same in VR, and there's even a creation mode where you get to make your own challenges. Now I've watched the trailer about 12 times on this one to get a better understanding of what I'm looking at, and I'm still pretty confused. But nothing confuses me about Metal Hellsinger VR. This is some brutal, fast-paced demon-slaying action, set to the beat of some heavy metal songs. It's almost like Doom decided to have a baby with Pistol Whip. The full single-player campaign and additional gameplay modes that were found in the original flat-screen title are all still available, but this game has been reworked for VR. The original version, released back in 2022, has overwhelmingly positive reviews, and this is my most highly anticipated game releasing in May. But if that's just too violent for you, maybe you should jump into Tank Arena Ultimate League. Get ready to jump into the cockpit for some 4v4 tank battles. Now there's an additional layer of strategy in this first-person shooter, as this plays a bit like a hero shooter, and tanks will take on specific roles such as Vanguard, Assault, and Support. That's basically DPS, tank, and healer. Now, I generally prefer my games to be a bit more mature themed, but all that truly matters is the gameplay, so let's hope this title nails it. And rounding out today's video, we have 2 new racing titles. First up is the off-roading game Mudrunner VR. Take control of 8 unique all-terrain vehicles and adventure across vast landscapes in either a story or free play mode. Now, this is yet another game with flat screen roots that was well received. Now, it doesn't look like Mudrunner VR is a direct port, but rather a whole new version. And finally, we have Formula 1 2024 releasing for PCVR. Prepare to jump into one of the most fast-paced racing simulation games that also just so happens to be stunningly beautiful. The game utilizes the latest and greatest bells and whistles such as ray tracing, eye tracking support, custom hardware support such as controllers, wheels, and pedals, and finally Steam Workshop support for some additional player-made content that you could try out after you finish the career mode. So as long as this game doesn't flop, it looks like PCVR will finally have an answer to Gran Turismo. And that was today's video, guys. Quick reminder, if you want me to cover any of these games, please let me know which one's down in the description. I'll do my best. If you have any additional questions, I missed the game, also let me know about that. If you enjoyed this, thumbs up. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing. All right, I'll see you on next time.